has Justin Lampkin developed as a pitcher since you've known him?
A lot, and a lot of it was expected just because you think about the natural progression of a pitcher, but he's well exceeded all of that. And I remember, first time I saw him pitch was this summer when I got the job here. I saw him pitch down in Georgia, and got to meet him, and his just demeanor and his character. There's no secret to success. It's just hard work and putting your head down, and that guy's the epitome of just that. And it's been awesome to see him grow as just a person and a player. And but credit to him, man. He's never stopped working. His mentality's never changed. He was mature as a freshman. He took his lumps like most freshmen do, but he never, he always got back up, and he continues to, and he continues to get better. And that guy is going to have an outstanding rest of the season. He's got a huge future ahead of him.
He talks a little bit about how his difference is just the mental game and being able to kind of flush things better. With any pitcher really, is there a moment as a coach that you can see that kind of clicks with a pitcher as they move through college?
For sure. You see how they get better, I think, pitching through traffic or pitching when maybe they give up some runs or it doesn't spiral out of control. And that, to me, is what defines a pitcher. Everyone's awesome when everything's going well, but how do you pitch when you don't feel your best? How do you pitch when you don't have a lead? How do you pitch when there's traffic? Basically, how do you pitch when it doesn't look like you got your best stuff? And that's what I think for him he's gotten a lot better at, along with a lot of the other guys.
We've had the pitching staff as a whole, starters and bullpen guys, have really stepped up the last few weeks. What has Jason Kelly meant to the organization as a whole?
Yeah, JK, I think the biggest part about JK is he's so much more than just a pitching coach. Like he's really good at all aspects of the game, and I think his biggest strength and why I wanted him here is just the mental side of the game and working guys through stuff. And our just pitching department as a whole has been awesome. I mean, JK's the leader of that, and then guys like Jace Hutchins and Jack Mahala, just what all they've been doing and working together is, I know is the reason where we're at. And JK, his just ability to relate to these guys and to mentally keep them on the correct path throughout a long season is the reason why I wanted him here.
Obviously speaking about mental toughness, we had talked about Caden Sorrell and just his big swing and his mentality, but with a few days to think about it and just how important every game is, especially going forward, just what kind of way to steal one like that in the eighth inning like that? How big is that for you guys moving forward?
Steal? No.
One swing of the bat.
Yeah. No, it was big. We did, and that's baseball, right? And you want to be on the other side of that, and it was huge. I mean, massive swing. At a time where the pitching they were throwing at us was really, really tough, and you had him up at the plate, and I would have just taken a base hit, but the home run was a bonus, and that's just a credit to the work and the mentality of Caden Sorrell, who didn't have a great weekend. I thought had a really good at bat, put on a really nice swing off Shores the at bat before off 99 with some good run and just missed it off the end. I felt like after that swing I could tell he was locked in. And getting him up in that situation, we'll take that all day because he might not get the hit, he might not do what he did, but I know we're going to get a productive at-bat and he's going to give us a chance. So, if you could hit that guy every single time, I definitely would.
Speaking of cadence, I think we're going to talk to Kent here in a minute. Just what have you seen from him over the last month in particular, and just the way he is settled in as an everyday starter this season?
Yeah, exactly how I thought he would. I mean, he's had his ups and downs like you expect, but I was actually thinking about him yesterday, and I just like tough players. I like just tough players, and that's who Caden Kent is. He's extremely tough, and he walks that edge when he plays, and sometimes it spills over, and that's okay. So he's everything you could ask for in a player. Similar to like I said about Sorrell, just that mentality, that killer instinct, like he's going up there with bad intentions. Those bad intentions sometimes get him in trouble, but he's done a really good job this year of dialing it back when he needs to dial it back and just grown up as a player. But what a luxury for us to have that type of not only player, but just competitor in your lineup. Just so thankful to be able to coach him every single day, and just the mentality he brings is something I love.
There's been a handful of times I've walked out to the car after writing the story in the press box, and he's out in the empty parking lot just talking with his dad, looking like he's working on his swing. Just how dedicated to his craft and getting better is he?
Very. I mean, he's as dedicated as I've ever seen, and I've seen him out there too. I think it's super cool. I hope to. If my son's ever half the player Caden Ken is, I'll be happy. And if I have that same type of relationship where you can do that, I think it's a really cool thing. So yeah, Caden's everything you can ask for, man. Like I love him to death, and when he plays, whether he does good or bad, I know it's not due to a lack of preparation. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of how he's the things he's went through in college too. I think can't be understated in this day and age where, I would say he's waited his time, I guess, or grinded to his time, and he's had chances. After his first year, you could have left. After your second year, you could have left, and he's here. I think that's cool. And I'm not against transfer portal or transferring, but I do favor that type of story and that type of outcome, and for him to, grind and I guess wait his time, so to speak, just shows a lot about him and his character.
What does the Missouri Scout look like?
I know what the record says. I know all those things, and I'm not trying to be coachy and this, that, but they got some really good players, guys a lot of their guys I would definitely take on our team. They have a lot of guys that are going to play professional baseball. They have talent. They haven't been able to string it together. So we're going to have our hands full. They got some guys with some good stuff on the mound, and offensively, I think they're a pretty good ball club. So we're going to have to go out and have the same mentality against them as we had against Arkansas, Texas, LSU, not really the opponent. And I think, we've had some success over this last month just because we're not worrying about opponents. We're just trying to play really good baseball. So we're going to continue to do that this weekend.
There's been times where the bats have been great, the pitching's been stellar, but to get those clicking at the same time, is there anything actionable, or is it more just trusting the process and it'll come?
Yeah, a lot of times too, and that's dictated by the other team. So like when you're facing Cade Anderson or Ianson, like sometimes it's tough to get that going. Those are just two type of guys that, and even their bullpen, you're just not going to string together a lot of hits. Like it's just, you can, right? That means those guys had a bad day. And when you face teams like that or any pitching staff, you got to understand good pitchers are going to get there. It's like you're not going to hold them down, but you got to continue to grind out at bats, get into the bullpen, and with a team with our talent level, if we're synced up at the same time, it's going to be really tough to beat. But what you want is to play complementary baseball, and when one's not doing it, the other one's picking it up, and then you keep playing, and you give your offense a chance, or you give your pitching staff a chance to shut someone down when it matters.
Is there some shared gene about guys named Caden on this team? It seems like every single one that is named Caden plays a pretty significant role.
We got 4, don't we? Wow.
Think you might need to
4
recruit
Cadens and 3 Gavins? Yeah.
4 Cadens and 3 different spellings of Caden.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like good players, and then I definitely favor the name Caden right now. So if you're a good player out there, your name's Caden, Texas A&M's the place to be.